so then jumping into product number 1, which is this balloon powered toy car. Now it looks pretty silly, but trust me on this one, just stick with me. There's plenty of reasons of why this is such a great product. Starting with the why, people are currently spending money on kids' toys right now. There's no two ways about it. It's a fact. Schools and nurseries are still closed. Parents are forced to entertain their kids at home. So people are spending tons of money on kids' toys right now. And then the second point as well, Q4 is approaching. So yes, I'm going to mention Christmas in the middle of May. But trust me, now's the time to kind of be thinking that far ahead. If you're new to dropshipping especially, this will give you a few months to start testing products, getting ready for Q4, so you can take full advantage of that period. The next point of why this is such a good product to sell as well, especially because a lot of people don't like to wait that couple of weeks to buy products in themselves and film their own content. If you use the link in this PDF, let's open the link, there is plenty of video content you can use and chop up and change into your own ad. Ad creatives are very important. If you try and sell this product using a single image ad, I think you'll struggle. Whereas if you use the videos, for example, something like this, you can clearly see how the product works, how it functions, and parents watching this will be able to see the kind of fun that kids can have using a product like this. My advice for the most effective way to advertise a product like this would be to order a few of these, get them shipped directly to some family, and with their permission, of course, get them to record their children playing with the toy. There's no better way to sell the products than to show your target market enjoying the product, because then when your customers see that video ad, they then picture their own children doing the same thing, smiling, having a good time, and using that product. It's the same thing for the dog niche. The most effective experiences I've had advertising dog products is by getting dogs to feature in the videos, feature in the ads, and them playing around, having a good time using the products. There's just no better way to market a product, in my opinion. If we go back to the keynote, then the next point is easy Facebook targeting. The beauty of Facebook ads is you can be really specific with your audience. So when you have a really specific product like this that obviously has a really specific audience, then the 2 and 2 go together really well. Moving on to the profit margins and upsell potential. Obviously, when it comes to kids' toys, there's just tons and tons of different upsell and cross-sell opportunities. But in terms of just taking it for one order for one product at a time, then this is what your profit breakdowns are going to look like. So price per unit, this includes delivery, is £12.17. Retail £29.99. Now I have seen some Shopify stores sell this for £40. So as a kind of worst case, I would start as £29.99, which leaves you with a profit per sale of £17.82, which equivalates, if that's even a word, to a 1.6 break-even ROAS. So essentially what that means is when you're running your ads will give you a ROAS per ad set, per ad, per campaign, depending on obviously what level you're looking at things. So as long as you're achieving a ROAS of more than 1.68, then those particular ads are profitable. In terms of the Facebook targeting options, then I would definitely go male and female. I would go all ages too, because you could see a grandparent Facebook being more popular for the older generation of like 45 plus. There'll be grandparents included in those audiences which would love to buy products like this for their grandchild. And I'd also target parents with children up to about 8 years old. I would say 3 to 8 because it is a balloon. There is that kind of potential safety risk or potential safety issue there. So I'd go for anything for 3 to 8 years old and just make it crystal clear on your website, not suitable for children under 3 years old and adult supervision required. With that being said, then moving on to product number 2 is an automatic hand soap dispenser. Obviously, due to the current times, a product like this is hugely relevant right now. And in terms of the scope of who can use this or who would like this or where it would come in demand, it is pretty much just limitless. If you think of gyms, restaurants, takeaways, anywhere people are going to be potentially using toilets or touching door handles, you could have one of these on the side for people to clean their hands safely and effectively without having to touch anything, and therefore not spreading the virus or spreading any particular germs. I think as time goes on, people after this, even when coronavirus is a thing of the past, people will still be a bit more kind of wary of germs and spreading things. Second point is there's a huge opportunity for business to business right now for the reasons I've pretty much just mentioned. In terms of the Google Trend info, then again, if you've got this and a downloadable link, you'll have all these links and access to them. So the search term is automatic soap dispenser. This is the UK from 2004, so the past 16 years. We can see this is massively trending, the most popular it ever has been in this time period. I haven't checked, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure that'll be the case pretty much globally. Back to the keynote then, there is a video example for this product too, so I'll quickly show you this. Again, a product like this isn't, you're not doing it justice just by showing an image. You need to show a clear video of exactly how this product works, so you can see how efficient it is, how effective it is, and again, you're showing the end user reaping the benefits of buying and actually using a product like this one. If we just continue watching this, it's going to take you through the setup of how to essentially get it working, and hopefully if it's a good video, it will also show you how the product works at the end. These video ads that you can get from AliExpress, by no means are they finished products. You need to download these with the permissions of the suppliers, of course, and chop them up to turn them into actually ad creatives versus just a video, a simple video of what the product does. Now, to tell the honest truth about profit margins, there are going to be other more profitable products out there. However, with the products like this, the chances are people are going to be buying a lot more than one of these things, potentially even 10, 20, 30 or 50 of these things, depending on whether you're doing business to business or selling to the end user. So to kind of quickly go over the numbers then, price per unit is approximately £11 depending on where you're shipping it to or sourcing it from. Retail £24.99 per one easily for a product like this. That is really cheap considering the current benefits and how hugely relevant and in demand a product like this is for. However, if it was me, I would have the price breakdowns for different bundle offers, and obviously the more people buy, the bigger discount they get. Profit per sale is on average £13.99, which leaves you with a break-even ROAS of 1.79, which is very achievable given the current climate that we're living in. In terms of Facebook interest, now this is where some of the difficulty does come. You could even branch out into ads on LinkedIn. That's one of the biggest business-to-business platforms for marketing, for advertising. But if you're going to stick solely to Facebook and try it in there, go for male and female, go for 20 plus, online shopping and engaged shoppers. By choosing engaged shoppers, you're just making sure that you're targeting those people who have clicked that buy now, that shop now button, on a previous Facebook ad in the past 7 days. Moving on to product number 3 then, we have LED solar garden lights. Now you don't just have to stick to the ones on screen now. I featured a specific type in the previous video and I had at least 2 people reach out to me and say they were selling really well for them. And the reason being then is for the following reason. So number one, we're obviously coming into the warmer seasons where people naturally spend more time in their gardens with friends and family and therefore invest money into those sorts of things. Plus, this is also increased due to the current lockdown. People can't go out as much, so they're spending time and investing money into things at home because that's where the majority of people are going to be spending the majority of their time, and obviously people are currently calling it staycations. In terms of the Google Trend info then, this is actually quite surprising and will just illustrate how in demand these current products are. So garden solar lights, again in the UK for the past 16 years, if we look at the previous peak, it was 32. So at the moment, things are currently 3 times as popular than they ever have been in the past 16 years. So it's just a no-brainer for a particular product like this. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be this exact design here. It can be any kind of solar light, but the more specific for the type of audience, then the better. In terms of the product video, there's a great video for this particular light. The reason I like this is because it's not just a light up light. It has like this LED flame kind of flickering effect, which looks pretty cool. The sort of thing that's going to get a lot of, as you can see, it looks really cool. In fact, the sort of thing that's going to get a lot of attention on social media if you put together the correct Facebook ad. And again, there's tons of content around this particular product online, so it's not necessarily one you have to buy in yourself. You could get loads of different clips from loads of different places, chop them up, and make something that looks pretty cool. In terms of the numbers, there's some huge upsell potential here. When you break it down per single unit, the profit numbers, to be honest, aren't that exciting, but obviously, as we saw in the videos there, most people will probably be buying half a dozen of these things, which leaves space for good upsell opportunities and more money to be made. So price per unit including delivery is £7.15, which is very reasonable if you ask me. Retail each one at £14.99, but you could sell 2 for £25, 3 for X amount, so on and so forth. Profit per sale per unit is £7.84, which is a break-even ROAS of 1.91. So again, even though they don't sound crazy attractive, just think if somebody buys 5 or 10 of these things, then that £8 profit per sale goes up to say £40 to £70 profit per sale, which is pretty good. In terms of the Facebook targeting options then, I would go for females, I would go for 25 plus, and then there's actually quite a few different interests that you can target directly relatable to who your audience will be. So number one is gardening, which is obviously pretty broad, so you can narrow this down with things like online shopping, engaged shoppers, garden centre, LED lamp, solar lamp, gardener's world, I love your garden, I love gardening, just those sorts of things. What you want to try and do ultimately is target those people who are really passionate about their gardens, and obviously people who buy certain gardening magazines, watch certain gardening shows, they're going to just be your ideal target audience. Moving on to product number 4 then, which is actually something I'm going to be investing in myself this year, is the foldable dog pool, and for a whole bunch of reasons, but just to kind of narrow it down to the biggest 3 is, number 1 is we're coming into season with the weather getting warmer. People who own larger dogs and need to be kept cooler, then products like this is just ideal, to be honest. With people being on lockdown too, less people are walking their dogs outside, even though people are allowed to, but there'll be those people who are scared of taking their dogs outside, so they won't be walking them as much, and a product like this again will just help them keep their dog cool and safe during times like this where the weather is really warm. And then thirdly, which I've already touched on briefly, is it solves a really important issue. People are mega passionate about their dogs for the right reasons, so they don't mind spending that bit of extra money if it means their dog's going to have fun and it's going to stay safe and healthy. In terms of the Google Trend info too, this backs it up again. If we take a quick look, we can see dog pools search term. This is worldwide too, so you can go into pretty much any country with this. Then again, it's been the most popular it ever has been in the past 12 months, and it's currently on an upward trend, an upward spike, which makes it perfect and ideal to start selling today, right now. If we go back to keynote, then there's one important note I want to mention, and that is creative is key. With the dog niche, it's a really emotional and passionate and joyful niche. You need to kind of get that expression, that feeling across in your ad creative. If you try and sell a product like this using a single image ad, I think you're really going to struggle. Whereas if you have a dog yourself, even better, you can buy one of these in, fill it full of water, and just film your dog having fun jumping in and out of it, and stuff like that is just marks in gold. In terms of the profit margins and upsell potential, obviously the dog niche is just a ton of different products that go hand in hand really well with the products like this. But even if you only sell one product per order, so one unit per order at a time, the profit margins are still pretty decent. So price per unit is approximately £20 including shipping. Again, depending on where you're shipping it from, what method you use, what country, etc. it's going to. It's about £20 per unit. You could retail this at £40 easy. So last summer all of these pools sold out, and you could literally not source them anywhere in the UK, and people were putting them on eBay for crazy prices, which leaves you with a profit per sale of approximately £20 with a break-even price of 2. So even though that might seem quite high, what you've got to imagine is all the upsell and cross-sell opportunities per order, plus every time somebody makes a purchase with you gain that email address that you can then retarget to and sell them other products later on down the line. You don't always have to focus on those front end sales. Try and think a bit more long term what the game plan is in terms of bringing customers back onto your store to spend more money with you. What you got to think is, when you acquire a customer for the first time, you have to pay that marketing cost, but to bring somebody back onto your store to buy something else, so the profit you make on that second sale is obviously going to be a lot higher than it is that first time round. In terms of Facebook interest, I mean, there's just tons and tons of different ways and angles you can market products like this, but I would go for male and female. You can use dogs as kind of like the main base interest, but then I would narrow it further using things like dog training, dog walking, certainly target certain breeds, so large dog breeds, black dogs that are more likely to struggle to regulate their body heat, and that's definitely larger dogs with black coats, because obviously black attracts and absorbs the heat from the sun. Moving on to the 5th and final product, and guys, if you're still watching this video, hopefully you're still enjoying it. If that is the case, please do make sure you hit that like button, and of course please do make sure you subscribe as well if you're enjoying my content. Anyway, let's get through the last product then, which is this portable table tennis set. As it says there in brackets, it's a bit of a wild card, because to tell the honest truth, I'm not quite sure. My gut is telling me that this is a good product because of the information. In fact, let's just go through the information. I'll show you the evidence behind this. So why is this such a good product to sell now? A couple of reasons. Number 1, garden season, with weather improving, families, friends naturally going to be spending more times in their garden. Plus, due to lockdown, more and more people having staycations, they're forced to spend time at home. So more and more people are looking for things to do at home, and this product, especially if somebody has kids, solves that issue. And then the biggest point is obviously due to lockdown, people are bored looking for things to do at home. Schools are still closed, and something like this is a great way to get your kids active off their iPads, off their computers, their Xboxes, whatever it is. Get them doing some exercise and having fun playing table table tennis. Now, the reason I wanted to include this product in this video then, a couple of reasons. Number one is the sell the trend info. If you don't have sell the trend, you might not be able to, this link may not work for you. So what I'll do is I'll just open it up in my web browser. Sell the trend, by the way, is the only product research software that I do actually recommend, endorse, and use myself. If you do want to get a free trial, there is a link below in the video description where you'll get a free trial, so you can go and check it out. I also did a video showing you how to use it as well. Anyway, if you take a look at the graph, we can see that if you look at the orders trend, the amount of orders as have increased since February, kind of March time was when coronavirus was kind of announced. And from there, as we can see, it's kind of just gone from strength to strength. The order numbers have continued to increase day on day. There's loads of different stores selling it. There's a total sales of nearly 100K. So it's evidence, hardcore evidence, pretty much solid evidence that this product is currently in demand and increasing in demand. Don't be put off by currently how many stores are selling this product. If we look at the stores by country breakdown, we can see the majority of those are in the US. I won't go into too much detail now, but so many people want to go straight to the US when, in my opinion, it's one of the most, well, no, it is the most competitive market and therefore the hardest market to break into. There's plenty of other countries in which you can find more than enough success in. Anyway, back to the keynote. The second thing is there's great profit margins and upsell potential with this product. Obviously, you can couple this with loads of different kind of home games that you can kind of bundle into one offer, or you can offer them as an upsell, some form of cross sell. You could do it multiple different ways. Price per unit then is £10, including shipping. That is retail $29.99. I've seen stores actually sell this for £50. So even worst case, you're looking at a profit per sale of £19.99, which is pretty decent, which leaves you with a break-even ROAS of 1.5. Another reason why I also like this product so much is because of the Facebook targeting options, because you've got a really clear audience of the people who are going to be buying this product. Obviously, it's going to be male and females, it's going to be 18 plus, and it's going to be parents with children up to 12 years old, maybe even older. In fact, you probably go a bit older than that. Then you obviously want to include engaged shoppers, online shopping, and things to do at home. And if you kind of add all that up into one specific audience, then essentially you're targeting parents with children who are currently stuck at home, plus parents who are familiar and used to buying things from Facebook ads. So obviously you've got a really ideal and laser focused audience right there.